salutations, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marlon. You welcome to the Black Man's Locker podcast episode.
Sorry.
Once again, my name is Marlon, and we got Tyrese Lawless, Terry in the building, and Norris is in the building.
That's what's up.
We got a great episode for you guys today, and as you know, we've done 2 this month, so we're getting there. We're getting there, y'all. We getting
2
there.
this month.
Yeah, very interesting episode we got today, and I'm excited. How you fellas doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, man. How about yourself, man?
Man, I'm good now.
The Chiefs won, man. I'm good. The Chiefs won.
Oh, man. I don't want to hear
Cowboys. Chiefs.
I don't want to hear Cowboys. Yeah. Not a word.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hope Detroit can pull it off, and we'll have an interesting game.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen.
Right.
Definitely got to see how this is going to play out because it's pretty interesting.
I mean, because if San Francisco go, then it's going to be kind of a war game, and then I got to be on my trash talk mode. I can kick back and relax, and they're my peoples. So it's all good. We just having fun.
Yeah.
So.
But wow.
Today we are going to discuss some Y'all want to just kind of go with the actual subject? Y'all want to just go straight into that situation that transpired with the subject?
I think we need to give him some background. Some background.
Well, go ahead, brother. Do you?
So really, I'll get a background. So the subject matter of what we want to talk about today is protecting Black women, and what does that look like from our standpoint, and how we view protecting Black women, and what we mean by a circumstance that took place. If you are anyone that's on TikTok, they remember the incident that was called Brickgate. In which a woman from Houston, Texas, claimed that she was assaulted and hit in the face by a brick while Black men just stood there and watched and did nothing. This created a huge firestorm, and a lot of degrading things were being said across social media about Black men and us protecting Black women. Mm-hmm. Well, it has come to find out that all those claims were fake, and that did not happen. And I think there was a warrant for her arrest for, I don't want to call it theft by deception. I think that's what it is. But she used GoFundMe to raise over $40,000 for something that never happened. So, wow. Yeah, that's the background on the incident. I think once with me saying that everybody is familiar with that, but if you do not know, who that woman is, I got, her right here, yeah, I'm showing the picture. Yeah, we're going to talk about this one right here. Right there. That's who we're going to talk about.
You are wild.
I'm in the wilder mood because the Chiefs won, so.
Here y'all go.
I think with me, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm not gonna fire off just yet. Go ahead, y'all go. I want to savor this one.
Well, you want to savor this one? So I'll give my. I mean, are we gonna talk about the issue or just the protecting Black women part first?
We're gonna talk about it all.
But let's go back a little bit, because in the beginning of that, she also said that she was assaulted because she didn't give the guy her number.
Yep.
And I do want to say that if you are one of them dudes that actually will harass, because there have been instances where there have been Black men that have either accosted a woman for not wanting to give them attention or attack them, and that's some sucker stuff. I don't condone that. I'm pretty sure the group doesn't condone that. No. I mean, real talk. And I'm not trying to sound like a chauvinist, but there's plenty of women out there, bro. I mean, just because that one didn't want you doesn't mean you got to go and, make her feel uncomfortable in the setting. Just move on.
And I think that's the thing that really just throws me off with the whole situation, man, when you have brothers like that, it's like you said, at the end of the day, if somebody's not interested in you, they're just not interested. You
Point
know what I'm
blank period.
saying? I mean, they're just not interested, man. You're not gonna be for everybody. Everybody's not gonna be for you.
Exactly.
So if you approach a young lady, man, I mean, she could be 36, 24, 36, caramel complected. I mean, the whole shebang. But if she's not interested in you, let it be what it is. Like you
Just
said,
move on around.
there's so many women, bro. There's so many. So why even waste your time? You know what I'm saying? Let it be what it is and kick rocks. Keep it pushing.
Sometimes I wonder if the guys who take offense of that have an issue with handling rejection.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like if that could be what is it about rejection that makes you angry? And it could be some traumatic situations that have happened in the past, but that's still, no excuse to harass or degrade women because she doesn't, she finds no interest in you. If she finds no interest in you, just move on around. But if you find that you're one of those individuals that you take offense to rejection, that sounds like there's some accountability and some inner stuff that need to take place. That you need to find out where that rejection is coming from and get some healing, because there is no reason why, if a woman say no, she say no. Like you said, it is plenty of women out there. If she says no, have a good day, ma'am. Move on around. That's simple.
That's it.
And I think we have to look at the bigger picture on why that was okay. When she said that, nobody challenged that part of it.
It sure didn't.
I think that that's important for us to also look at that is when men are rejected, that we're always put into this boxes. We resort to violence or we get aggressive. And so when she carried on with that part of her story, nobody really challenged that part of it. And when that led to violence, everybody just kind of ate that up and pretty much didn't really even challenge the story. So there's a lot of things to break down with this story that we're going to get into. But I really want to preface that, though. First, as a group, none of us condone violence towards women. We all love our sisters and uplift them and encourage them in every way that we can. And I think this situation, we're bringing this to the topic of discussion because there's so many different elements of this for us all to kind of touch on. The protection piece, how the lie was ingested by people and how people are so easily able to take a lie and run with it than to challenge the narrative that's being produced, especially by Black men.
Right. And I think the part to me, I will say that bothered me the most is there are those who just went in and ran with it. Social media is big on emotion. So something you feed into somebody's emotion, you got them locked in and they believe anything that you say. Right. But the part that bothered me the most is when there are those who questioned. They asked for, well, that doesn't make sense. And you were like, I use myself as an example. I can't remember this lady's name, but she dogged the mess out of me because I was just asking, saying, hey, we just need a little bit more information about what happened. Oh, no, because she said it happened. No. See, y'all don't protect Black women. And I'm just like, but I'm just asking for more information.
Remember my motto, believe the victim, investigate the crime.
Boom.
That's how you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? And if you like, when you hear it at first, it's like, yeah, man, that's crazy. But then when you start thinking about it, wait a minute, so you mean to tell me he came, asked you for your phone number, you said no, and then he just hit you with a brick.
Just bust your whole skull cap.
That's not a protect Black women, Black thing. I mean, it is protecting Black women because, I mean, I don't care who you are. If I see that happen, if I'm at a club and I see a dude approach a woman, I don't care if I know her or not, and he attacks it, I'm pretty sure me and the whole rest of the club is going to go at him. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy. That dude got mental issues if it's like that. The problem was everybody was confused when she was doing, you watched the video of her, everyone was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Everyone was looking kind of confused, and then you had witnesses actually speaking on it, saying, yo, there was no dude, there was no break, there was no nothing. Then come to find out, she was the aggressor, and like it was a water bottle, and she kind of like, I guess whatever, and I guess she attacked him first. I guess that's the word. She attacked him first, and he threw the water bottle at her. I mean, once again, I don't condone violence, but I mean, where'd the brick come from? Where'd all this stuff come from? You know what I'm saying?
But there was video that I
go ahead. No, I was going to mention one thing that I wanted to throw out there, and it's called confirmation bias. Tyrese was talking about how a woman kind of got on you. So confirmation bias is when you believe a certain truth, and then when the evidence presents itself contrary to what you believe, you just dismiss it, regardless of whether it has facts or stats that make it really relevant to your situation. You reject it. So for a lot of people, when they hear stuff like that, they really get gaslighted about it, because here they are, another situation. Maybe there's something in their past that happened with the black man or a situation, and now here this is. And so they get emotionally pulled into this, and you can't tell them that didn't happen, because now they're emotionally tied to the end result of that, which is the narrative that black men are this, or black men don't protect this, or multiple narratives that we hear all the time. But I wanted to throw that out there.
Absolutely. All I was going to say is that there was a video that circulated that I saw right after that, where it actually showed, I guess, the beginning stages of this whole situation, and her taunting this dude, like literally, he's walking away, and it kind of reminds me of the whole situation with the Jonathan Majors. Now, granted, that was a white woman that he was dealing with, but what I'm saying is that the pattern that I saw between the two, this man was walking away, like, hey, I'm done. I don't even really want to engage with you. But the more that he walked, the more you walked behind him, the more you was putting your hands on him. I mean, you just doing things that you shouldn't do.
Right.
And I think, and one of the things that I think is different, for me, is I feel like this. If hypothetically, if I'm walking away from a person, I've told somebody, hey, I don't want to be bothered with you, and I'm walking away from this person, and you putting your hands on me, putting on, and you just keep putting your hands on me. At some point, man, I mean, where do you draw the line? What do you expect me to do? I'm not saying that that's what I'm going to do, but at some point, everybody doesn't have that restraint. You're not going to be able to just keep putting your hands on a man, hitting him all in his back, beating him all in his back, and everything else, whether you're drunk or not or whatever. And for some cats, man, they're going to retaliate because they're tired of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't have that restraint, but to me, there has to be some kind of a line that's strong. If a person is walking away from you, leave that man alone. Leave that woman alone.
And I was actually going to bring that up too. Like, I've seen, and I'm not even exaggerating, I think I've seen more instances, and I'm not trying to shoot the direction of the subject or blame to women, because that's not what I'm about. But I'm just being honest with you. I've been in clubs, and I've seen more women be aggressive like that. Like, if a dude don't want to talk to him, then suddenly, I mean, they may not touch him or hit him, but it's like, oh, you gay? Or if he goes and talk to another woman, it's like, what she got that I don't got? I look way better than her. Whatever, you lame, and all that stuff. And it's like, but just, I mean, if you watch that specific woman, I'm gonna call her a girl because she is a woman. She's had videos that have been serviced in the past of her accosting anybody. Like, there was the one where she was in the store and the white lady was trying to be nice to her, and she was trying to just basically throw the race card at her, and the white woman was confused. There was one where the Mexican lady was confused because she kept saying racist and calling the Mexican lady white. She's like, I'm Mexican. And she's like, well, that's even worse. I want to speak to the manager, and just going on. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. And then she had a GoFundMe from another event that was similar. And like, shout out to the Miss Accountability, Daphne. She's been on this case hard. She's actually the one who was really directing the Houston police to all the clues and stuff, helping them connect the dots. Right. Because she doesn't play that. She like protects black men like fiercely. She holds us accountable, but at the same time, she's like, nah, y'all ain't gonna do them like that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I know you're talking about.
And she was on it. Like, it was so bad that a whole bunch of content creators were like on her head about it. But once everything came to pass, it was like, yo, suddenly everyone was like, wow, but nobody wanted to take accountability for the fact that she lied and they were wrong. She was literally out here ready to. I mean, I don't think people understand how dangerous that can be to get law enforcement riled up looking for a black man that's violent. That's allegedly violent. That could turn into death.
It could turn into a dangerous situation.
Deadly. Right. Very deadly.
Shot, killed. It's all fun and games until somebody got to bury their son for something that he didn't do.
So let's take. No, let me off in there real quick. I wanted to say that because you made an interesting point. You said, so who loses when this type of narrative and this type of trash is adopted and spread so viral? Who loses? Who loses in that?
I would say, I mean, when you're talking about who loses, it's the black culture that loses, in my opinion, because it's been shown and we've seen it time after time, like Marlon was saying, where women have been the aggressor, and if it's a guy who's not interested, then he's called all kind of names. But then it's the fact that maybe women can have some, not gonna say all, but some can have an issue with rejection, and it seems like there's an issue with rejection and not knowing how to handle rejection. Because then if it's a situation where the cops get involved, well, depending on, what is said to the police, now they're looking for an aggressive male that was never aggressive. And now here comes a point to where we have a situation where a young black man can be shot, can be killed for something that never even happened. But still, the overall picture is, in our culture, we lose because this is just such a toxic situation.
What were you gonna say, Norris?
I think that was probably the best explanation that could be given. No, I mean, just being honest, man. I mean, what he said, I honestly believe is, what ultimately ends up happening, man. But I think the biggest thing is that, for everybody that is affected by this, this whole piece with rejection, man, they need to get some help. Get some help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, get some help. Try to, your best to work through your issues, whether it's abandonment, whatever it is, work on those issues. Because I mean, if we're just being honest, man, there is multiple people around the world, man, who jump in relationships and everything else, man, and really haven't done the necessary work to be able, to get themselves, healed in a way to where they can have, healthy, whole, holistic relationships.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They go in with baggage, then you go in with baggage, then the person that you meet has their baggage. So everybody has their baggage. You know what I'm saying? And before you know it, you got a whole apartment full of baggage, that everybody has brought in, that nobody has really done the work, to try to, get that stuff put away. And then before you know it, over time, this suitcase is being unpacked. 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 So now we just got clothes everywhere.
You sound like there's some power there, Norris.
We got a big old huge humongous pile of dirty laundry that is causing our whole apartment to stink and be funky because it's not clean, it's not folded, it's not put away. The things that needed to be done for those things to be able to be garments that you can hey, I can put this up, I'm good now. Those things haven't happened. And so you don't just do that in one relationship. As long as you don't do the work, you keep doing that. So you go from house to house to house. You go from this house to this house, from this house to this house, from this house to this house. And you just all your dirty laundry. You just keep on throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, you know, you got to get clean.
And that's the percent.
Go ahead.
Saying that's how people carry themselves a lot, because if you think about it, you use a great analogy of a house and an apartment. Like the apartment, a house, the outside could be flawless, be looking nice, pretty,
Absolutely.
everything, the edges is trimmed, but as soon as you look in the inside, it's filthy, it's messy, because nothing has been cleaned.
Not at all.
I think if we're talking about baggage, I think that's a good point. One of my mentors mentioned something to me that I've always remembered. He talked about when you get in a relationship, always watch their family. He says, because one of the things we're going to be in competition with is you're going to be in competition with her childhood.
Facts.
And so all of us have some things, because, you know, if you look at the numbers in the Black community as far as kids being raised in single households, and it takes a man and a father to give a complete dynamic of what a healthy household is supposed to look like. And so all of us have some areas where we have some gaps, and, you know, sometimes that manifests. So attachment issues is another. So sometimes that manifests in how we do act when we are rejected, or how we do act in these type of relationships. And so it's perfectly normal to understand kind of the reaction to some people when they hear that story and they latch on to one side or the other. Mm-hmm. So one of the biggest things we talk about is protection. What does protection look like for Black men and women nowadays?
I would say, in my personal opinion, I think there's a misconception of what protection really is. I think from a woman's standpoint, the protection would be if there's any type of physical danger that the man has to step up and protect and be that shield. Even if she's at fault, the man is supposed to step up. Any man that's in that area, Black man is supposed to step up. Don't even know you, not even related to you, but I'm supposed to step up and defend something that I know nothing about. But I think sometimes the opportunity is missed, that people don't understand that protection is also being honest.
Right.
Meaning, oh yeah, they're gonna get us for this one, but it's all right. Meaning, if I know you walking out the house looking a certain way, me being honest is not me trying to control how you look. Me is trying to show a level of protection, because I know how men think, because I am a man. Right. We know how men respond and how men act.
True.
I think we have to have better communication between Black men and Black women, and understanding what protection is.
Right. I can agree with that. You know, you had made a comment, Reese, and immediately my mind went to something that I watched on TV last night. Mm-hmm. And it was some show on A&E. You know, I can't remember exactly where this was, but it looks like, you know, it was a town that you know, is pretty predominantly like white based. But anyway, there was a little Black boy that they were at, you know, a skate park. So anybody that knows anything about a skate park knows good and well, man, that you got cats flying all over the place, man, at high rates of speed on skateboards, flying through the air. I mean, you know, doing all of this stuff. And so there was a little Black boy, probably couldn't have been no more than 4, on one of those little metal scooters, right? And, you know, he's scooting, but he's super slow. His mom, you know, one of her sisters, you know, was there. And so little white kid, you know, been going there, I guess, for, you know, quite some time. You know, he had mentioned to, you know, the mother, hey, you know, you might want to watch your son, because we're doing all kind of tricks and different things like that. And yes, you know, we can see him, but like, say, for instance, you know, if I come off this wall or whatever, and he just so happens to walk in front of me and then he gets hurt, you know, then you're going to be mad at everybody else, you know, because your child has gotten hurt. We can watch him, but at the same time, he's not their child. You know what I'm saying? and you know what's going on. I mean, it's probably like 12, 13 kids on skateboards, man, just flying all over the place. But the dude was trying to be respectful. We don't want your son to get hurt. She jumped in the dude's face, started going ham. I mean, just went ham. You ain't gonna do nothing to my MNF kid. And if you hurt my MNF kid, then it's getting ready to go, crazy in this bed. I'm gonna tear this bed down. I mean, just going ham. And so, this dude, she's yelling at him. And, eventually, of course, it heightens him up. You know what I'm saying? So they yelling back and forth, and all in each other's faces like this. And so he walks off. Next thing you know, here come this brother. Yeah, yelling in his face like you was yelling in my face. Yeah, perfect example. That man comes, he don't even really know what's going on. All he knows is what you've told him. So you want to holler, well, yeah, yelling in his face like you was yelling in my face. But did you give him the whole situation? Did you tell that man that you walked up to that brother because he was honest and open and very calmly asked you, hey, can you watch your son? We don't want to hurt him. If he walks in front of somebody, he might get hurt. Did you tell him that piece though? And see, that's the thing. Protection is protection. And I get that. But don't just throw a cat, like you said, Reese, don't throw a cat in the fire when that man don't even know how hot that fire is. But you've created that fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that happens all the time. This is one of, I'm sure, of many instances that has happened over time. But this was a perfect example of, okay, protection, definitely valid. We want to protect those, who we're with, rather, protecting, a sister. That's, I feel like that's, we should do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just, but at the same time, don't go causing chaos that didn't need to be caused and then throw me in there and you want me to defend your honor, but you ain't even really giving me the whole story. And then if I do ask you, well, what happened? Don't turn that and flip it. Oh, why do you need to know what happened? I'm telling you this and I'm telling you that. This no, what happened? Because if you in the wrong, you in the wrong. And part of me protecting you is to be able to say to you, hey, you know what? In this particular instance, you was wrong. That's part of me protecting you, being able to tell you in this particular instance, you was wrong. Why? Because what I don't want you to do is get into a habit of consistently starting fires and then throwing me in the middle of these fires in today's climate.
Right.
Because everybody ain't getting ready to, just let you walk up on them. Right. You know what I'm saying? Cats are shooting first and asking questions later.
Right.
So not only should I protect you, but you should protect me too. Right. In other words, you know what I'm saying? If there's an issue, come holler at me about it, but don't give me partial facts because you mad. Give me the whole story. And then I can work on what I need to work on. I think that's only fair.
I see. I can dead all this with just one thing. Well, a few things actually. One, I can honestly say that most of my friends who are no longer with us due to violent situations are locked up for a lengthy amount of time. It's over something like this. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that all the situations were lies or whatever, but it's always a situation where there's a woman involved where something was said, he hit me, he did this, he did that, and it went left. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in Wichita, it's rarely over money, it's rarely over drugs, it's always,
over a woman.
Right. It's always over a woman, you know what I'm saying? And I think one thing I want to kind of get out there, put out there is this. Situations that came into my head immediately was the Travis Rudolph situation. Brother who got into with his was she even his girlfriend?
I think
I want to jump off. I'm just being real. I think
it was his girlfriend.
So get into it where she didn't get her way or something. She calls her brothers and his friends over, tells them, and the text message prove it, to come over here and get him. She told him they came over trying to, be and thought that it was sweet, and my man pulled out that automatic weapon, and lives were lost, and he almost went down for it, but luckily the law was on his side, and
he self-defense,
and he was able to, I mean, I if I was him, I wouldn't be, running around with no gun no time soon, but he was acquitted, thank God. But at the same time, how many brothers didn't get that type of grace? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
that's true.
And another question, I mean so well with this. I asked women this before, and I always get, "What you mean when you don't feel safe around men?" My question is, why do you stay around those men you don't feel safe with? Yes. And what men? Are you talking about your father, your brother, cousins, your boyfriend, his people? Because, sis, if you don't feel safe around these men, don't go around those men. Like, that's just being real. Like, these men they're not protecting you. Why are you there? If you, like, for instance, like when cats go to the club and they feel like they got to carry a gun to the club, why are you going to that club if you feel like you're going to get shot at?
Right.
You don't need to be there if you got to carry a gun.
Stay your butt at home.
Stay at home. Stay at home.
Stay at home. Get you an Instagram account, DJ on live, and have a good time. That's what if you want to drink, that's what the liquor store is for. It's cheaper to buy your own and have it at your house. For real. Don't be I'm being 100. Like I never understood that cats. I gotta put something in the trunk. Why? But going back to it, like for real, like females, I hear it all the time. I used to hear it all the time. I don't want to go over to his house, but she's making me go because that's her boyfriend and everything. They be always looking at me and waiting for me to get drunk. Sis, why are you going?
Ain't no way. I'm cool.
There's no point in
popular. That's not your friend if they waiting for that. Them not your friends.
Right. And they I've actually seen situations where girls will be like, they just left me over this dude's house and I don't know who he is. And and I'm like, but you call those your friends. Ladies, do yourself a favor. If you don't feel safe around somebody, don't even put yourself in that position. I'm not going to say not to wear what you don't want to wear, not to do what you want. I mean, even though that's common sense, but it's your body, it's your life. But at the same time, eliminate the factor and don't go around people you don't know. Period.
Right. So I think you make an interesting point when you talk about one of the ways that we can protect Black women is to educate, is the education part of that. And I think as fathers, majority of us have daughters.
True.
And that's part of educating them is telling them not to go into certain places. Look at your association. Also, be careful of the men that you surround yourself with and the men that you are attracted to. So those type of conversations. So even some of that happens in the home. Because I was having a conversation with some earlier today, and we were talking about, well, whose job is it to educate your Black daughters about men? Is it the mom's job, or is it the father's job? Now, I thought it's a combination of both.
I would say that too.
It's a combination of both. I think most times as men, we feel as though it's the woman's position to educate the daughter and put her up on game. But I think the issue is with some of us men is we feel like we don't have the tools necessary to educate them the way that they probably should be. Mm-hmm. And then they put themselves in certain situations. And then we carry a guilt because we're like, well, whose job was this? Whose job was this to teach them that? So I think in that situation, going back to the original situation that we talked about, I think that she definitely lacked some teaching and some wisdom, putting herself in that situation as well as escalating that, because obviously that's part of who she is. All the previous videos showed that's just her personality to escalate situations. And we know how dangerous that can be for Black men when law enforcement, security, or any type of police are involved. That can end up in very dire situations for us. So,
but
yeah, and I say speaking on her, I think this is something that a good conversation to have when it comes to protecting Black women. And I also said protecting Black women is also being honest with Black women as well. When I look at that lady's videos, I feel like she's seeking attention, and I think I'm not going to say a lot. That's not the word I want to use. But I can say there is a huge number of Black women that utilize social media for attention, whether if it's Instagram, TikTok, and we have to be comfortable with just being straightforward with the truth. Like, hey, you're attention seeking. This is how this is a way of, like I said, protecting women is being honest. And I don't want to say names, but I've had conversations with a few before, and I asked them, where is that coming from? Why does it seem like you're putting yourself out there like that on social media? What's happening? And some admit it, hey, look, hey, I'm trying to get these dudes, I'm trying to get this bag. Like, so, so some admit it to that, but then others, they didn't have that direction as you were speaking of, Terry. When they learned about how men are supposed to treat women and how men are supposed to act, they only got one side of it, which was the mother side. They never got the father side. That could be for different reasons. Who knows? It could be either the father was absent or the father was trying to be there, and the mother was preventing him from being there. We don't know what that was, but what it boiled down to is that there was only one side, being told.
Right. And you know what is crazy to me? Terry had mentioned, whose job is it? And I totally agree with him wholeheartedly, that if in some way that both parents can engage with their daughter, and talk to her and give her game, then that's what they need to do. For fathers, in that regard, even if you can't give her, all of what you think that you feel like you want to give her in terms of game, there's nothing wrong with dropping nuggets. At some point, you got to give her something. As a man, you know how men are. Come on, man. You can try that all you want to, but you know how men are. At one point, you was 15, 16, 17, 21, 22, 33. You know how men are. So because you know how men are, there are certain nuggets. Cats that's been around you, even if you wasn't the type of dude that felt like, you had a player bone in your body. You've been around cats that have been on that. You've had friends, talk to people, you know what I'm saying? So know how people think, in this world in terms of, men and, things like that. And so to me, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Give your daughters game.
Right.
Let them know, hey, this is what this is. You know what I'm saying? Me, I have no issue with it. I'm going to give it to them. Hey, This is what I see. This cat ain't no good. Period. And I don't make no qualms, no quirks about it. I'm gonna tell you directly. This is what I see. Cat ain't no good. You getting ready to waste your time. Now, if you decide to pursue, that's not on me. I've done what I'm supposed to do as a father and a dad, and I'm giving you the game and letting you know this ain't what you want. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, just like any of us, sometimes, man, our daughters have to bump their heads, just like our sons. They have to bump their heads, man, in order for them to be able to realize that what you're telling them, because let's just be honest, in this particular generation that we're dealing with, man, a lot of these kids don't want to hear nothing from their parents because you're trying to control them if you're trying to tell them the right thing.
Exactly.
That's their thought. You're trying to control me. You're trying to do this and you're trying to do that, and that's not even the case. It's not that
I realize that we've been there.
I've been your age for a whole year. So I know what's getting ready to go down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to help you, you know what I'm saying? Because I know, what I was on at 17, 18, 21, 20. I know what I was on. And let's just be honest. Solomon said it best. There's nothing new under the sun. Things just keep on repeating. They keep on repeating. The stuff that I was trying to do is the stuff, that my son may try to do now. Right. Brother, I done already did all this. You ain't out slicking me. I've done it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we need to do that. We need to give them game. We need to put them up on, how guys are. But to your point, Reese, when you said that there may be a situation where that father may not, be there. We're in a time now, and I think this it really speaks to what we're seeing in today's generation. We're in a time now where we have a whole lot of super young mothers, and they had these kids 16, 17, so now they 35 and they super young, their daughters is 17. You still trying to kick it and be this super young mama out here twerking on all of the social media networks and everything else, and doing all this stuff. And your thought and your mind frame is almost the mind frame of Ronnie and Tricks. You got to use what you got. Let's just keep it a buck. You got to use what you got to get what you want. One of the most famous lines from a Players Club. But
make the money, don't let it make you.
But I believe it's so embedded in young mothers' minds in this generation,
right?
Because you can see. Let's just be honest, man. You got OnlyFans, everything. You get on there, man, and you stacked enough, you shake it enough, you gonna get in the bag.
So no, it ain't gonna be on OnlyFans. It could be TikTok, Facebook.
A bag is coming.
Snapchat.
Because that's what Cass is on. And so it's a hard situation, man. It's almost, I don't want to say it's a catch-22, but it's a hard situation where you trying to get these young ladies now to think along the lines of this is your body. And I get it. You might be developed and everything else. You might have a real pretty face and all of that, man. But don't allow yourself to put yourself in a position where you exploit yourself and you do all this stuff, and then all this unwanted attention comes. And now you mad at the unwanted attention. Well, he shouldn't be touching me. He shouldn't be doing this. But what do you expect?
Hey, Norris, you touched on a really good thing. I wanna throw this out there because all of us have daughters. All of us have daughters or are mentors to young women because we're men of character. So I want to throw this out there. What are one or two things that you tell your daughter that because for some of our viewers, they may be struggling with what type of information they should be giving them. This throw one or two things out there, 1 or 2, 3, how many you got, things that you want to share, wisdom that we should be sharing with our daughters so they don't put themselves in a situation like this.
I would say, and it's something that I'm going to answer that question, but I want to piggyback off what Norris just said about the unwanted attention, because the thing that I see is that the young women, and I had to type it down so I could say it right, they're too impressed by the unwanted attention and miss the right attention. They miss the good brother, the brother that got himself together, the educated brother, the brother that's doing the right thing, the brother that's going to respect them, because they're so impressed by the unwanted attention that they shouldn't even get.
Right.
Or the overly narcissism and the love bombing and like all that stuff, and they miss the good quality guy. And I think that's one of the things that we can share with our daughters is what are qualities of a good man.
Right. What is your thoughts? What do you think are the qualities of a good man? That way I can know what you're thinking and where your mind is.
There you go.
I can help you if you let me. I can guide you. You know what I'm saying? Into an area where you're not so much always wrapped up on the look or wrapped up on him wearing J's all the time or him rap. You know what I'm saying? Because let's just keep it a buck, like you were saying, Reese. You could have one of the most fly brothers with everything. He got the skinny jeans on, man, with the little Louis Vuitton belt. I mean, he got everything. You know what I'm saying? Name brand swag, got the little dreads, little braids. I mean, he could have all of that, man. All of that outside of the house is dope, but that joker could be, see, I almost slipped, but that joker could be so corrupt
in the inside.
On the inside, but you don't have the mentality to recognize the inside because you're too busy focusing on what he looks like and being visually pleasing. And men have that issue as well. Let's just keep it a buck. If we gonna be honest, men have that issue too. Young have that issue too. We see that Coca-Cola bottle shape, you know what I'm saying? All that old stuff. And we ain't even thinking to ourselves, man. Hey,
not young ones, old dudes had that same issue too.
That's what I'm saying. Young dudes, old dudes, but we not even thinking to ourselves, well, man. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, is she, you know, dealing with a lot of trauma?
Well,
you know, what am I getting ready to latch myself onto?
Man.
Because
and I think
I was just gonna say, if I'm not ready for this ride, I need to let that thing go.
Right. And I think one of the things that we could do, and it kind of goes back to what Terry's saying, and in the same line of what you're talking about, when we talk about dating, you know, I think how these young people date now, it ain't how we dated. Like it's totally different now. Like when we were younger, we went out on a couple of dates, and first of all, that first date didn't cost a whole bag either. Let's go ahead and keep that 100. That first look, we was okay with the Cheesecake Factory. Shoot, that might have been the third date when we were. The third date might have been the Cheesecake Factory, but I think that's one of the things that we have to teach is how to date, what dating looks like. What are questions you should even ask on a date? Because I think right now, this social media got these young folks messed up bad with what relationships are supposed to be like, what dating is supposed to be like. It's all about how much money somebody make. You know, what you bring into the table. That's what the mindset is about now in dating. What all these people, like these young people, asking what they bring into the table, and ain't nobody got their own place. Like you ain't bringing nothing because it ain't your table.
They ain't even got a table.
You 17 years old.
They ain't even got a table.
Get out of here.
Can't afford one either.
These cats, they think on dating now, man. Shoot, is going to a kickback, man, and after about a good hour, man, good 45 minutes to an hour and a half, man, they in somebody's car or something. They ain't got no business. Ain't no real date.
No.
Piggybacking off what Norris just said, like as far as safety for our daughters, I mean, I can't speak for anybody else on this panel because I know we all have our households and we run things differently. For me, I want to show my daughter what it looks like. Let me explain.
Good.
So one thing I'm big on is like rules of engagement. Like there's certain things that are obvious. Like one thing I tell my daughter, I'm drilling her head. She's acting like it's not going to happen because right now she got her little boyfriend and she's in high school and she's whatever. But I'm like, you know, college is a whole different level. I'm trying to teach her that. Like her senior year, I plan on sitting her down because a partner of mine did this and it worked for him. I think this is a good idea. He sat his daughter down. Each one of his daughters, he sat them down. One night, he showed them the differences with like drinks, told them the rules on like certain things that you need to look for when it comes to dudes. Told them about how dudes move. You know, like for instance, like if a dude likes you and y'all at an event, yeah, he's gonna be up on you. He's gonna talk to you. He's gonna be trying to get to know you. But let's be real. You're at a club. It's allowed. You're at a party. It's allowed. You know, if that dude's trying to get you to go somewhere quiet, that's not public. I can see if you're at like a house party, he says, "Hey, what's up? Let's go on the porch and we can talk." And you're sober enough to where you can go on that porch, have that conversation. You go tell one of your girlfriends because you better not be there by yourself.
Facts.
Tell one of your girlfriends where you are. If y'all nowadays technology, iPhones, we're tracking each other. I'm out here on the porch. Have your homegirl say, check on me in 5 minutes, check on me in 10 minutes or whatever. All right, drinks. You didn't see that drink get poured? Don't drink that drink. In fact, let me show you what it tastes like. this is a mixed drink. You see, you can kind of taste the alcohol, it's a little fruity, cool. Be careful with that because too many of those is gonna put you on your ass. Okay, he hands you a mixed drink, it tastes like straight alcohol. Nah, he trying to get you drunk. He trying to get you drunk, pour it out, or ask for a chaser so you can mix it up or something like that. There's a certain rules of engagement because with his daughters went to his oldest daughter. I remember she went to college, and she ended up calling him like maybe 2 weeks in. It's like, Dad, I think this dude's trying to get me drunk because he keeps giving me these strong drinks. He told her, he said, call somebody or go to whoever somebody looks responsible and get out of there. She ended up calling a cab and got up out of there. And her friends were like, "Why you're a square? You're a square." When dude was basically giving her these strong ass sex on the beaches and stuff like that. I think that's what she said he was drinking. I'm not sure, but it was all. I mean, I'm not trying to say all fraternity dudes is like that, but come on, y'all. We all been out there, them dudes just want to put it in somewhere and whatever. Like, and I teach my daughter too. I mean, like she got a boyfriend, but it's whatever. But you have to understand that a real brother who is genuinely interested in you will wait for you. If you say, let me get your number, I'll call you, or give me your number, and or whatever, vice versa. He's going to give you that number. He's going to wait. He's going to like cool and talk to you, or hell, even when you get home, he call you. You make sure you got home. I might turn to a nice, pleasant conversation. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. You gotta show these young girls what it looked like, and a lot of these young girls don't know what it looked like. One of my homegirls, she told me the first time she went on a real date was when she was 27 years old. Like when she met her husband. Up until that point, it was dudes hitting her up. Hey, what's up? I know we met last night. Let me come over and talk to you. And they end up having sex, and it was meaningless. She has three kids with dudes that she really don't know nothing about. She don't know these dudes. Her baby dad, she don't know nothing about him. But then she met a dude. He took her out. He was a gentleman, and she never experienced. She was scared. Like he talking about he wants me inviting me to church, and he wants to go, and we went out to eat, and he didn't want to do nothing after that. He just said, "I'll see you tomorrow." I'm like, what's wrong with that? I ain't never happened to something like that happen before. Like he's a gentleman.
He's a square. Yeah, he is square, but he's a square in her eyes.
He wants you, but he just doesn't want it the way that most dudes be wanting you. You know what I'm saying? And it took her. It is sad because this woman's 27 years old. Well, she's older now, but she's 27 years old with 3 kids at the time. And this is the first time she's ever went on a real date or not had a situation where dudes are trying to get her drunk and get her high and things like that. And that, to me, that was crazy because there's a lot of women who go through that. You know what I'm saying? So I totally feel I'm all for showing your daughters what it looked like, because I would rather you, like I told my daughter, if you ever want to get high, I don't want you to get high, but if you want to get high, come talk to your dad. Want to get drunk, come talk to your dad. We can do it in the house. Me and your mother, we watching you. We show you what it's like. You're safe, and you ain't got to worry about nobody taking advantage of you. We're just gonna laugh at you, but we, you ain't
I mean, it's different instances, man, for different households. I mean, hey,
I had to tell my daughter about Everclear. I'm like, Everclear, she's like, what's that? I'm like, don't drink it. No. They say it's mixed with Everclear. Do not drink it. I don't care who you with. That's gasoline. And she's like, my daughter. Luckily, my daughter doesn't plan on drinking. She does. My second one, who's in high school right now, she doesn't plan on drinking. She doesn't plan, which thank God. But like we all know, a lot of us know, once you step through them university doors, especially at HBCU, she's trying to go to Langston. Homecoming weekends, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm trying to tell her, she thinks I can handle it.
You don't need a lot of prayer and supplements.
Unless you go in your dorm room and shut the door and not deal with nobody, or you get blessed with a roommate that's as square as you, you're gonna be exposed to a lot of stuff. Now, if you're strong enough to handle it, I commend you, and for that. She has a lot of her mother in her, so I'm not worried about that. But you never know. She also has a lot of me in her too. So I will go get drunk, get a drink. So hey, so real, I'm just being real, bro. I'm being real.
All right, let me throw something out there. I got a couple.
Really back in. Really back in.
Yeah, come on. Number one for me is respect yourself. Respect yourself. I teach my daughters respect themselves. Somebody had on there, it said a father can teach their daughter the qualities of a good man, but if a man is not teaching the son how to be a quality man, then what would that do? And it goes back to one of my first things I said was respect yourself. You can't control what anybody else does. And the first thing you do is you can't control whether these young men are being taught right by their fathers or whether by their mothers. But what you can teach your daughter, you can teach your son, is how to recognize people who are not in their not on their lane and have to have boundaries. And when those people violate those boundaries, they know to walk away from those type of people. You can't control people. And if you're worried about what everybody else is doing in the world, and that's how you gauge how you act, then you're already lost. You're already getting ready to set yourself up for some problems. Another thing that I talk to my daughters about is how to choose wisely, how to choose partners. Marlon, you said some very important things when you were talking about what to look for and teaching your daughters when you're dealing with people. They can say whatever they want to, but watch their actions, because they'll feed you a whole bunch of lies.
Well,
and then when you see what their real agenda is, be wise to that. Communication is another one I talk to my daughters about. In that situation, the young lady tried to portray herself as she just communicated no, and then she just had all this aggression that happened, and violence that happened to her. Now, there's a certain way that you can say no and continue to walk away, or put yourself in a place where there's other people that can protect you or can look over you. There was a case about a year ago where a young lady told a young man no, and he began to follow her. He ends up killing her, putting her into the trunk, and they can't find her for a week. They find her out in the woods or something. So in that situation, no wasn't enough. I mean, you never know who you're dealing with. So I teach my daughters, if you have somebody that's following you or somebody that's ultra aggressive, make a phone call or put yourself around people that in a public area, so that until you can find somebody that can help kind of walk you into a place where you're not going to be assaulted or anything. So
also,
and trust one more thing, trust your instincts. I mean, that goes for men and women. That goes for men and women.
And also, we can't just put this all on the girls. If you got sons out there, teach your sons how to be damn gentlemen.
That's what I was just getting ready to go into that. I literally was just getting ready to go into that.
No means no. It's okay. If she says, like, man, you know how, and I'm not bragging. You know how many times I've been told no, and it may be a month, a year, where they circled back. Like, no just means no at that moment, or it might be no forever, but it's okay. Like we said earlier, plenty of women out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, fellas? Like, it is not important for you to get that one. Like, for real, you might be in a group. How many times? Now, we all can attest to this. How many times you been involved with this group of women? You want to go holler at that one. Yeah, she look good. She don't like you. But her friend do. Right. No, especially once you get to talking.
Lord have mercy.
You might say something like with me. I'm like, I'll be sitting there like, man, I swear, I would be like, man, I could be at home playing Street Fighter right now. Other girl.
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
This dude is wild.
So I got said, you got it. Oh my God, let me get your number. You look, it's kind of cute. Let me go ahead and slide you my number. Bam. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You accept a no from this one. Now you got this one. She's better. She fits you more. And 9 times out of 10, that one that said no is going to be like, damn, I messed up. But it's okay because you got the one that God wanted you to have. God, you ain't got to get mad and say, man, for real. I never understood. I'm not into psyche like that. I've never understood how dudes can get so aggressive with women when they get I hear no. Okay, on to the next one. Oh,
if you hear no, just move on.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Move on. Like, can I buy you a drink? Nah. Okay, cool. I'll save my money. That's my bread. It's in my pockets. Cool. You know.
Right. I was doing tripping. This man said Street Fighter.
Right.
I mean, I can't say Final Fantasy because that's going too deep. But yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example, and this happened before. I mean, for real, a lot of cats a lot of these dudes don't understand it, and these young dudes and even older dudes, they just can't accept no. They want to be violent, and it's sad. It's really sad that there are men out there who are capable of hurting women because of rejection. It's sad that there's women out there who can't take rejection and maybe not hurt men, but accost men. I think that's stupid. All right, my favorite, you try to holler, you say no, and then you call her friend, and she says, "Girl, he tried to holler at me." Well, no, we ain't went on no dates. We ain't did nothing. We it was a high and by, and now all of a sudden, nah, I'm cool. But no, for real, I never understood how women or men could be that aggressive. I mean, to me, it's 100%. I need 100% yes. Anything less than 100% is
still a no.
Period. And I think it's important for us, man, when it comes to our sons, man, and our young men, even if they might not necessarily biologically be your son, man, or somebody in your family, it could be somebody that you might be mentoring, man. I think you need to give them both sides. Right. On one side, you need to tell them and show them, man, how to treat a woman. You know what I'm saying? How to engage them. You need to show them, that at the end of the day, look, don't be that cat to be the dogmatic dude. Right. And then when that thing come back around and bite you in your behind, all of a sudden you butt hurt and you hate all the every woman in the world. You running around here looking pitiful, and everything else because you reap what you sow. It came back. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need, to be fair and honest in that, when it comes to our young men, man, we show them, teach them, you know what I'm saying, talk to them on how to treat a woman. But at the same time, like you said, if you approach a woman, man, and you nice and you gentleman like or whatever, man, and that lady reject you, okay, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to be able to have balance, you know what I'm saying, and learn that, I mean, there's two sides, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to this game. Everybody's not going to want to give with you, bro. That's just how it is, man, at the end of the day. Everybody's not going to want to give with you. You know what I'm saying? So
going home and going to bed after the club.
You know what I'm saying? Go home in peace, bro. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? If the Lord say the same, you wake up, man, you wake up to fight another day. There's somebody else, you know what I'm saying, that will come, you know what I'm saying, within your vibration. But that doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, if somebody rejects you, man, that now all of a sudden, I'm super Negro and I'm getting ready to, I'm doing everybody. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that I meet from now on, you know what I'm saying, I'm just gonna dog them. Come on, man. At some point you got to mature up. Even at a young age, you got to mature up to some kind of a place, you know what I'm saying, to where you can say within yourself, okay, hey, it wasn't for me, cool, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not gonna, talk crazy about you, or you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna tell my partners, she this and she that and she does and she so, you know what I'm saying, all because you butt hurt because you couldn't put the riz on her and she didn't, you know what I'm saying, she wasn't buying it. Right. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, everybody done lost some folks, man. And everybody, you that you liked, you know what I'm saying, didn't like you. Right. And everybody that liked you didn't like. That's just life.
That's life.
What you don't understand is that girl might have a father or uncle or brother that's willing to go to jail for them. I'm just saying.
I don't think it's a cat in one of these squares on this podcast right now that ain't like that.
I'm just saying, bro.
I
will catch a flight, hop in that car quick. Don't play with me.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a cat in a square on this pod that's not like that. You know what I'm saying? But we owe it, and I'm not just talking about us, but just especially just black men in general, man. We owe it to our daughters, man, to give them game, but we also owe it to our sons, you know what I'm saying, to give them game as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And don't, which is what I see a lot of people do, and I don't even necessarily think that it's a black thing. I think it's just a cultural thing. Don't allow your son to get away with something that you knew you wouldn't let your daughter get away with. It needs to be even.
Yep.
If you're gonna raise them evenly. Because a lot of times what happens is we black men, or just men in general, we give a lot of mercy to our sons and let them do a whole lot more than but then we want to put this big old huge iron claw on our daughters.
But we shame our daughters for losing their virginity, but we high five our sons.
But and that's what I was going to say.
Yep.
And that's been a lot of what I think has happened over the years. You know, we've applauded our sons, man, for doing stuff that they really don't have no business doing. But then if they come home, you know, Mama, Daddy, I got somebody pregnant. Now you looking crazy because that person, let's just be honest, don't have the means or the wherewithal to even take care of no child. So who's that going to fall back on? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They both need to be taught evenly. And they need to be held accountable accordingly.
Right. My sons, I don't even want to hear about them having sex. I mean, granted, they under 10 right now. All three well, my oldest boy is 12, but I'm telling him right now, bro, you ain't about to bring no babies home, bro. You focus.
Focus. I think that's one of the things that we're gonna have to start doing also is putting these talking points in. So I think this would be a good follow-up to this is to have some information available for brothers so that they watch the podcast, they can get information, but we can also have some tangible stuff for them to take with them.
Right. Absolutely.
I know, let's wrap it up, fellas. I know we dropped a lot of positive points, and I think this is I think we need a part 2 for this. I think there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We can add to
this. We need to do a part 2 to this one. That's going to be episode 5, part 2.
Yeah. Well, I think we got some more important stuff to drop on episode 5. But we got we got some more stuff in store. But I think we touched on a lot of positive stuff. And I'm not the one to wrap this up, but I definitely want to throw the plug in for the men's conference that we're getting ready to do in February.
Yes.
If you're watching, if you don't know, you don't even have to be a black man to share this. If you love black men, if you have a father, a cousin, a nephew, 15 or over that needs the information, we're here and we're doing an awesome thing in Wichita. Don't miss out on the opportunity of what we're doing. Our agenda is to bless not just the black men, but the homes that these black men resonate in, to produce better fathers, brothers, uncles, cousins. And so if you know one, make sure that you share the information that we have. We're getting ready to get some flyers out and do some more ads. But we're going to have some links, and my brothers are going to talk a little bit more in detail on what you need to do to get linked into what we have going. Don't miss this movement or this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Don't forget, we definitely got the conference coming up. I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry, fellas, I'm not on my game right now.
So before we close out, so I just read a comment on our page. Someone asked for us to bring a woman to the panel.
Who said that?
With all due respect. With all due respect, this is the Black Man's Locker, and we wholeheartedly want to have a space where specifically black men speaking to black men, but also black women. I think if
there you go.
Ahead, Doris.
If our sisters have any comments or questions or anything like that, our Gmail, the blackmenslocker@gmail.com. Please submit questions, topics, whatever it is that you want us to talk about. And
we sure will.
Right.
And I think it's important that I think you made a major point. This is for black men, and we're speaking to black men. And so if you dislike something that we've said, I think you should look inside. I mean, each of us come from a different background, but we're speaking from our experience and from our truth. And we're not attempting to tell you what women are thinking in their brains or in their space, but we're giving you from our experience and our information.
So, what we go through and what we think of as man, you know.
But we want to know what you're thinking, though. We do want to know what you're thinking. We never want to discount.
Email us and let us know, because we do want to have a section where we can answer questions that women have. And we want to be able to address those things. But, you know, I know we just kind of got sidetracked over today, but back to the conference.
It's important, though. It's important.
Right.
Yeah. But we do have a wonderful conference, as my brothers were saying, you know, coming to Wichita. Right now, the tickets are only $15. But as of February 1st, that price has changed to $20 per ticket. So the early bird special was $15. As of February 1st, it will be $20. So you can actually get your ticket by going to www.theblackmanslocker.com, and the very first link you see takes you to the Eventbrite to where you can actually purchase the tickets.
Right. Rise of the 300 Men Conference, February 23rd to the 25th. We got some fantastic brothers that's going to be speaking. 1914 East 11th Street North, Wichita, Kansas. Make sure you get a black man, get him there, so we can politic, we can break bread, we can definitely. There's some knowledge that's going to be in that building, so you definitely want to be there. We're going a lot of discussion, a lot of subjects. So definitely, this is the first of many events that we're going to be doing. Hopefully, we'll see your people there, and we can definitely get this movement going. Wichita, don't Wichita, y'all got to be there. These tickets, I'm telling you, $15 right now. Go ahead and get them tickets.
$20 still is $20 still is nothing.
$20 is still good, but $15.
The lineup we have.
Say that $5.
Yeah, the lineup we have. But my only ask is for our single parent mothers who are looking for mentors for their teenage 15-year-old sons. This is the room that you want those boys to be in.
15 and up.
Not only will they hear from men from the community, but they will see black men who are politicians, black men who are doctors, black men who are entrepreneurs, black men who are therapists. They will see black men who do more than just dribble a basketball and run a football. They will see black men that do other things as well. So if you have single parent mothers, if you have any sons that are 15 and up, especially seniors in high school, this is the place that you want them to be.
Absolutely.
We look forward to seeing y'all there. And any closing remarks, fellas?
All minds clear?
You know what? You're going to get off me, bro. You're going to get off me. I never said that. Y'all thought I was going to say that, but I never said that.
I was ready.
See, I wasn't even going to say anything.
Well, definitely, I'd like to thank everybody who's came in today. We definitely appreciate y'all. If you want more information about the Black Man's Locker, www.theblackmanslocker.com. We will see you guys next time, and peace be with you.
Peace be with you.
Peace.